Alright guys, we got Fortnite secretly deleted this map. This looks like Slurp Rush. Interesting.
Fortnite just completely deleted this reload map out of the rotation. So Fortnite made a pretty surprise change to reload amidst everything that's going on this weekend by removing the
Chad, this was uploaded 4 hours ago.
Slurp Rush map and bringing back the Oasis map instead. Now this
Wait,
update wasn't really like teased beforehand. We kind of knew that it was going to happen from leakers and things like that if you've been paying attention to other channels or online people were talking about it. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
Chad, you don't like this change? Oh my god, Slurp Rush is ass, bro. I didn't play Fortnite for a while because I was pissed. Wait, I didn't play Reload for a while because I was pissed that Oasis was gone, bro. That adventure, bro. God maps right there.
And it caught a lot of people off guard because of that, including me. I actually didn't know anything about this until I went and saw that they actually did tweet about it beforehand. But I've got kind of mixed feelings about this change. There's a lot to talk about with what this means for reload, you know, what the map rotations are going to look like going forward, and what exactly Epic is prioritizing. Because honestly, to you guys, a lot of people are a bit upset about this because of, you know, the other maps that they've left in there instead of just leaving in Slurp Rush. Now, Slurp Rush launched kind of recently. I believe it was around March or April, and it immediately stood out, particularly to me because it was our first reload map that leaned into kind of the Chapter 2 theming. It had that really unique, like, kind of like Fortnite signature Slurpy Swamp slash, like, Slurp Company vibe, whatever you want to call it, that brought something really, really fresh to reload. Additionally, it also had different graphics. It had kind of those Chapter 2 trees, the Chapter 2 vibe in general. It was something that wasn't just completely based around Chapter 1, and since, you know, Reload came out, it's been very, very heavily leaned into, like, Chapter 1 nostalgia-based stuff, which, to be honest, really doesn't make much sense anymore now that we have the OG mode. But I was honestly hoping, and I still do have...
Chat, was Reload ever supposed to be an OG game, or did they just use OG things because they thought it was, like, the safer bet, I guess?
Hope that this would be the start of Epic Games exploring Chapter 2 and maybe even Chapter 3 and beyond inspired maps for Reload, adding a lot more variety to each of the maps. Because, you know, we have the Venture map, and now, of course, we have the Oasis map back, and they both kind of have the Chapter 1 vibe. So right now, we only have, you know, Venture, Oasis, and Squid Grounds, which is really interesting, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are upset about it. Now, instead of rotating out Venture, which is the OG default map, like I said, or Squid Grounds, Epic brought back Oasis and completely removed Slurp Rush. Now, it's not necessarily the fact that Oasis is being brought in. A lot of people really like the Oasis map, including myself. I love the Oasis map, but a lot of people feel like they should have removed the Squid Grounds map instead. I was genuinely surprised that they didn't remove Venture, like they haven't removed it in a while. It's the oldest of the bunch, and honestly, like I said, a lot of people have voiced fatigue with Chapter 1 only content and Reload. We have a lot of Chapter 1 in the game now, between Reload and OG at the same time. And then, like I said, of course, there is Squid Grounds, which I think is a cool map, don't get me wrong, and I really respect the collab effort. I think it was super immersive and a ton of fun, very, very unique, but it's kind of overstayed its welcome at this point. I've seen a lot of people online saying Squid Grounds should have been the one to go, especially since it's so big, and this is something I felt even...
I agree with, like, everything you're saying right now, bro. But I think Reload maps, like, hear me out. Every season, we should get a new Reload map. There's no reason that in 2 seasons we have not gotten any new Reload maps, so... Crazy.
Beginning when it was brought out, it sometimes feels a little bit too open for Reload's like faster pacing. I feel like it's a bit
for real. The map is so much bigger than all the others.
A bit too big of a map in my opinion. So we'll just have to see how long that actually stays because the collab has kind of been gone. You know what I mean? Like we just had the front man come into the item shop, but to be honest, I feel like it's kind of overstayed its welcome. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. Now for me, I'm very happy that Oasis is back. I always really liked its layout and it plays really well, and I love the sand like desert biome. But I can't lie, seeing Slurp Rush gone already does kind of sting. To be honest, I'm gonna be straight up, I haven't played a lot of Reload, but I really did like Slurp Rush because Chapter 2 is one of my favorite chapters and I love the vibes around it. I like the direction that Slurp Rush hinted at. It felt like Epic was kind of experimenting with Reload being more than just, you know, nostalgia, like it being like this melting pot of all types of different stuff, kind of like what they're doing with Blitz with Chapter 4 right now, and hopefully we do see it evolve a little bit more in that way. Like I said, I really hope they don't just stick to Chapter 1 stuff and collab maps because I think there's a ton of potential to bring in Chapter 3 stuff, even more Chapter 2 stuff, like even just very, very specific, like...
But yeah, isn't Blitz technically for all chapters, all seasons in a way? Because they just have like a lot of Chapter 4 stuff now, and they started off with Chapter 1.
Bring like callbacks to specific seasons, like Chapter 2 Season 2. Maybe we could have a flooded map. Stuff like that would be real...
That was Chapter Season 3, but that'd be insane.
really cool, and there's so much stuff that they could do with it. But outside of that, you guys, this weekend is actually pretty stacked in Reload. They vaulted and unvaulted a bunch of weapons, but epic chests are everywhere right now. So loot is dialed up to like 100%, like 0 to 100. As soon as you land, you have like epic and legendary weapons.
Wait, what?
And double XP is live across the entire game, which makes it a perfect time to grind this weekend. That does help soften the blow a little bit and is a bit distractive from, Slurp Rush being removed. I just hope that future map rotations feel a bit more forward thinking, and we're not just here, unvaulting and vaulting the same maps over and over again. I don't think this is the end of Chapter 2 vibes in Reload, but Slurp Rush getting removed this quickly is a little bit disappointing, especially when Squid Grounds is still there. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What other maps would you like to see inside of Reload, and would you have rather Slurp Rush stayed? Let me know. Drop a like on today's video. You watched all the way to the end. You must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Subscribe to the channel.
Crazy. Go subscribe to Prozo, bro. I watch this guy for all my Fortnite news, dude. All the Fortnite news. This kid covers everything, chat. Covers everything. If y'all enjoyed that video, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye.